Dan, hello.
Simbu,
How's it
how's
going?
it been? I've heard
How's
that
it
there's been
been?
some imposter kings happening in a very intense and pitched way over these past couple of months. Do tell, do tell.
Yes, well, we have been having the tournament of tournaments. The kid himself, True King, from the split two of the first season of the Imposter Kings, has put up a bounty, a call. He said, "Hey, challenge me at the top here, and we'll see how far we can go." Well, he actually had some pretty tough matches, but did make it to the finals himself, where he's sitting on a pile of cash, and Goose, the other True King, has found himself coming up to challenge him. Pretty exciting.
It is exciting. I've seen the pictures. The gauntlet was raised with I believe the kid was on a large chair sitting on
Yes,
top of a pile of gold bullion coins.
correct. That
It was
is
a tall pile too. The chair looked actually a little unstable the way it was balanced on all that gold bullion. But so it was, and the gauntlet was raised. And I got to say, the tournament involved a lot of pitched battles to see who would reign supreme, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all boiled down to these two,
Were you
which
gonna
is
say that?
pretty exciting, if I dare say. And I know there's a lot of money at stake. I've got written down here, is it $18,000? Is the prize pool for the tournament?
If Goose wins, he takes 18,000. He bankrupts the kid. Yeah, that's right. It's all the marbles are on the table here. No, it is. They are fighting for first place, which is 180 USD, US
Oh,
dollars.
sorry, there was a decimal. Sorry, I wrote this down. I couldn't read my handwriting. There's a decimal point in there. Sorry, it's $180.00,
And
not
it's funny
18,000.
because it's the kid's tournament. So really, what this is how much money can Goose take from the kid based on
Similar
whether he
like a
can win on
win
this.
Ben Stein's money sort of scenario that this
Exactly.
tournament has become.
Exactly. And it's a best of nine. Both players have used their super mulligan. The Goose, of course, famously using it in his first game against Bai. I don't know who Bai is, but he seemed to have vanquished Bai without any effort. The game took a total of 0 minutes, and he lost the super mulligan, however. Um,
I've seen Bai is in a lot of tournaments and is a really versatile person, but he always loses in
he
the first
always
round.
loses the
Yeah,
first round. And then on the other side, we have the kid who, as you may know, the notable game between him and Dot Sam, where it went mano y mano, fisticuffs, two mulligans, two special mulligans, really went the full distance. Really great. Spoilers: the kid won. You should know that by now if you're here. But it's a really good match, and I would highly recommend watching that. It's on the Imposter Kings YouTube channel.
that's right. The VOD is there. Now, when a Super Mulligan was claimed, if I recall, they needed to take a green emerald of some kind of an octal cut emerald, and then they clasped their hands like this and needed to proclaim it to the sky with it hovering between their two hands. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You
I
got the
watched the
process down
VOD
pat.
and there was no like camera on the player site. I believe that is how they did it, but there's no way to confirm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, both emeralds have been smashed or absorbed or whatever reference you were making there. You're going to be disappointed in me for not knowing exactly what movie reference or pop culture reference that was. But here we are. We have two very strong contenders. We have both of them have won the official tournaments, so they're both true kings. Talk to me, Dan, a little bit about Goose. What is his play style like? What does he like to do?
Goose, I've played Goose many times. If not, I don't have a particularly good personal record against Goose because Goose is always thinking and he finds angles in the game that no one else is there. He's always trying out strategies that buck the conventional wisdom a little bit, and they tend to be so successful that they become the new conventional wisdom after he pulls off success. So you'll see some of that here as well. Interesting plays, plays that you would never occur to you, but the moment you see them, you'll never forget them if you want to play this game at a high level.
And there, of course, the iconic card that is represented by him essentially is the princess. He's well known for having crazy princess plays, so we'll see how many princess plays we get out of this. Now, on the other side, of course, we have the kid who's been making puzzles about the game, which means that now every single situation, he's slowly building up an encyclopedia of every situation of the game, so that way he'll be prepared. What do you have to say about the kid?
I mean, that's it. The kid, if there is a hand which is starting to resolve, where the known situation is becoming resolved, he never makes a mistake. You'll always see through the resolution of that puzzle to the end. And a lot of cases, right? That's the difference between success and failure is maximizing those circumstances where the information is known to not zig when you need to zag. You'll get 2 or 3 points through avoiding misplays every match, and that's how you win.
Yeah, I mean he's very thoughtful. He knows the line. He plays it like a chess game. He's really got the lines. He thinks about through all the different opportunities and kind of goes with the best line there. So
He knows the closings. That's the thing. He knows the
that's it.
closings.
Yeah. So I mean I guess this is going to be a pretty epic battle. As I mentioned, it's a first to nine. A best of nine would be crazy. A first to nine to see who secures this. And yeah, that's where we go. So
It'll be interesting to see how the first to nine affects the play styles. If it means a lot more risk taking out of the gate, knowing that there's more of a buffer, or how it changes. Because again, you can absorb a 3 point loss in the first to nine.
yep.
Maybe take some more risks because you've got that space.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and head over to the Imposter King Stadium here, as you like to call it, and see what's going on. Yep. Let me just. There we go. And we're in, and we've already had started the first hand. It looks like Goose took the green side, which is, as we all know, that's the person who programmed this platypus. Shout out to platypus. He put the fortunate side that over there, and we can see that kind of in the first hand here. It looks like Goose has queen, sentry, soldier, 2 elders, king's hand, and assassin. It looks like that's a pretty important card there. Dan, can you walk us through that?
Yeah, and then looking over here, we've got Inquisitor, King's Hand, 2 elders, Soldier, Queen, Sentry, and the Assassin. Yeah, it's an interesting mix. Get both elders, you'll likely burn one, almost certainly will. It's interesting. It's doesn't have the Fool. It has one of the Assassin counters, no Oathbounds. It'll be interesting without the True King. I think you'll play this hand a lot differently if you go first versus if you don't go first, and he won't get to make that choice. So we'll see.
Yeah, and let's take a look on the other side here. We've got quite the colorful orange hand here, a little bit. Dan, can you walk us through what we're seeing here?
So Princess, Mystic, Warlord, Oathbound, Soldier, Judge, Zealot, and the Fool. So you've got the Oathbound Fool combo. You've got the Princess for setting up trades. This is a strong hand. You don't have Inquisitors to go fishing for that Assassin, which could make things interesting. You will want to take your hand. You're going to want to protect your Mystic because your Mystic is really your only counterplay for that Assassin. So you're going to have to be very careful.
It looks like for Sinbu, as he said, he's going to flip the king over here for Goose, letting Goose know that he's going first. Of course, Sinbu, known to be a benevolent and wonderful judge of the game, he likes to actually have things be ordered. So when you flip the king like this lets everyone know, hey, you know what? Goose is being told to go first. Although I would have preferred if it was clockwise.
It's interesting to push Goose to go first, and I would guess the reason why is card advantage.
You think so?
I think in this case, right, the kid wants card advantage because the kid knows that the assassin's lurking, and he doesn't want to be pushed into playing the king flip before
he also wants card advantage because he has the princess. The princess is really powerful as a someone who has card advantage. He also has the Oathbound as kind of like a last minute thing. He decided to go with the soldier instead of the Inquisitor opening. Dan, what do you think about that?
And
push it for numbers.
I'm gonna ask.
That's right. Did we hear the call?
If you have a Mystic.
There it is.
I do.
Okay. So yeah, pushing numbers. It's interesting because Goose has both 8s and the 9. So trying to squeeze a little bit, perhaps.
I think
maybe
so.
try to go Mystic hunting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Warlord's gonna be a buffer for one, but maybe he's just gonna try to put on the pressure. I think this is interesting, especially since Kid has the 6-1 combo, the Oathbound Fool, and that's really good against a pushing strat, essentially.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you get the big cards out, and it means you're always going to have the opportunity to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, interesting. He's reaching for the Oathbound now, though.
That is interesting. Dan, have we just not played this game in a long time? I feel like these strats are these are above our pay grade here.
Yeah, has the meta wandered away from us?
Guess
we'll
so.
See.
Oh, look at this. He's going straight into Mystic.
I'm going to Mystic twos.
There it
Alright.
is.
Just get
Assassin.
rid of it, and that's a brilliant. You know why he's the Oathbound forcing it so that way it's immune to the king's hand there. So he's just getting rid of the twos no matter what. This is going to be a two-less game, he says, but this
Well,
is going to leave him. This is going to leave him quite vulnerable to the strat we were just talking about.
That's right. I mean, the thing is, right, he knew he had to do it. He only had the one countermeasure to it, played it assuming that he had the assassin in his hand, which he did. He had to, and he still has the princess. I think the princess play is going to determine how this game ends.
Yeah, the only issue is that now he is going
Do
second.
you have a princess?
Or sorry, going first. He's got less card advantage. So, and look at this. Goose is calling for his
I do.
favorite card.
Okay.
Loves it. Loves that card.
Let me think.
So what happened there?
I will not
Goose.
swap.
All right.
Are we going to see the queen, you think?
Well, he said he is. Did he say he's going to swap? He's not going to
Right.
swap.
Not going to swap.
I mean, I think that's right because now he knows that kid has to flip, and what this means is that the warlord's not going to at least be able to trigger. So you got 2 8s. So if he knows what the kid has, he can get away with a 2-point victory here by just dropping both 8s.
Well, the kid's got a couple of things up his sleeve. One is any king flip means he gets a full play to pick up whatever's there.
Right, but if he plays the king's hand, he then plays the zealot, and then he plays the sentry, then the kid's cooked.
It's true.
And that's the king face-up king. That would be a 2-point win. That would potentially be a 3-point win, actually.
With a 3-point win, yeah.
Do you think that Goose knows this?
I'm gonna ask.
He thinks he probably has another Oathbound Fool, probably.
Yeah, that's right, because the other Oathbound is the face down burn, I believe, right?
It sure is. My goodness.
Do you have?
It's so nice being able to see all the cards.
This makes us a lot smarter.
We're geniuses.
A Oathbound.
I do not.
Okay.
And now, Goose knows. Actually, this is a case where your guess, unless you're playing mind games, can sometimes work against you because it can sometimes reveal what you don't have by trying to fish it out of their hand. So does Goose believe the kid in that case? If he does, then yeah, he just knows he can aid his way to a 3-point victory here.
So let me be clear. He asked for an Oathbound, right?
That's right.
Oh, Goose, you have to go for it, though. I feel like you have to because the downside is minimal.
That's right.
I'm assuming you're not using its ability.
I am not.
All right.
Do
we'll
it,
see.
Goose. You got to do it.
And there's
Oh,
3.
he does it. There's a 3-point victory in the first blow. Ouch. That Oathbound call was actually
I thought
what
for a
brought him
second You
down.
might have been bluffing with the Oathbound call.
That was it.
Yeah. Oh, he
If I'd
should.
asked just for like an 8, would you have flipped?
I probably would have flipped here. Because, like, I'm thinking that you
Kid
have,
feeling
like, this.
Kid feeling super
And
bad
so,
about
like,
this.
my
I'm
big
sure.
worry is you picking up something nice. And I had this down here.
Yeah, you saving these 8s was good. I needed to get them out of your hand, but I couldn't.
What made
Oh,
you want to
did
go first? Or you wanted me to go first?
Card advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Look at us, couple of smarties figuring out that hand.
we just had the help of omniscience of knowing all the cards.
Well, so a couple of interesting things on that, right? So again, the play was in part determined by a couple of things. The kid knowing that his only countermeasure, the assassin, was the mystic, and Goose knowing at that point, once the kid did the 6-7 play to get the mystic to neutralize the assassin, knowing that the princess was the main weapon the kid had left, and going right after it to pull it out of the kid's hand and force the play when it was least useful.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, there you go. I was that was a crazy game. I think there was a little bit of wondering whether that soldier call was going to come back to haunt him, and it really did. You could see Goose hesitating for a second. It was crazy. So here we go. We go to game number 2. Goose is up 3-0. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here's the kid's hand. Looks like we got ourselves some cool colors. We got some hot colors. Going back up here, the Fool is the face down card. The Princess.
Again.
So right now, the kid has probably thinking
if
he's got.
if I'm the kid, with that hand,
Yeah.
Princess, Sentry, Judge, Soldier, Inquisitor, both Elders and Zealot, I would normally think I had a weak hand.
Yeah,
With the other royalty out of commission, this is actually a stronger hand than would appear.
that's true. And Goose is looking. He's like, okay, this is probably an okay hand. No royalty. He probably has both. And there we go. I think we have ourselves a mulligan.
Yeah.
But the kid mulligan and is going to feel maybe a little foolish when he sees the princess toss.
These two are like dead threes in your hand. Oh man.
Yeah. Even with Princess out, this is not good
like-
for me.
Princess being out is actually worse for you.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Imagine if I go turn 1. Boop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a mulligan for sure.
All right. Well, there we go. We got our first
Didn't want you
mulligan
to three-point me 2 games in a
coming
row.
from the kid.
What?
All right.
That sounds like a great idea.
Do you want to put in the score or?
Sure.
All right. Here we go again. My goodness, I feel bad for the kid. It looks like we're getting some. This is the was it the green? What was it? The green
why is
player
it-
advantage.
Oh, that.
Really
Well,
coming
yeah,
to
actually,
effect here.
That's right. So here the kid again drawing very well. This hand's got some options. So both
Yeah.
8s, all 3 5s, the Inquisitor, Assassin, Fool. What do you make of this one, Cena?
I mean, you got to go first. That's for sure. I think you have to hit some nice calls. But yeah, I mean it's tough because now you're looking at the other side here, and you got two big 9s and both Oathbounds, right? Like it's, the and 1 Elder. Oh my goodness, this is almost one of those KO hands, right? If you have both Elders, both Oathbounds, and both royalty.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
he
And
doesn't
the other
even have-
Elder is the face-up burn, so
Oh,
it is a
no.
KO hand.
Goodness
Yeah,
me.
except only Goose knows it. Although I suspect that the kid is intuited it. This would be a 2-point mulligan, I think, and it might be the right choice.
Oh my
to do the
gosh,
2-point
yeah. I
mulligan.
think he has to take another mulligan here. This is looks like it's tough to look at this situation, but it's just like golf. You gotta just get back into the mental game. And why did I say golf? That's actually the worst analogy ever. Because in golf, you actually carry your score over every single round, but you still gotta play your best.
Well, the way to
I'm
frame it,
mad at
right,
myself
the
for
Phillies
saying-
were down 4-0.
There it
and
is.
At a time at bat earlier today.
There we go.
And
There it is.
from that 4-0 hold, they ended up winning 10-6. So, you can come back,
I
and the
would like
9-point
to
format is
stop.
going to allow that comeback here.
He's gonna start. I think he's gonna try to go for it. Now, if there's anyone who could go for this and actually make it work, I think it's the kid. He can at least hopefully make it a 2-point loss. So now he's throwing away the Fool, which is the right thing.
I don't see how, though, because Goose knows that the other Elder is not available. So Goose knows he's got a KO hand. He's got both the Oathbounds, both the Royalty.
Here's what
and-
he's gonna do. He's gonna Inquisit for an Oathbound. He's gonna Sentry it into his hand. This is
Ah.
look. This is the kid has been training every single second of his life for this moment. This is it. This is the line he's like, you know what? No more Mr. Nice Guy. It's time.
Or do you think it will lead off with the Judge to guess right and then go
Yeah,
into the,
really burn it out too. Yeah, exactly. Now the problem is that the Goose also has the Mystic, which is also good at killing a specifically type of thing. So
It's true. He could play the Mystic. Well, he wouldn't be able to invoke it off of a Judge play to wipe out the 4, which would be his saving grace.
all right. This is it. This is. I am gonna salute the kid for this one. It may cost him 3 points.
Well, it'll cost him 1 point because he's already used his mulligan. So it's either a 2-point mulligan or trying desperately to weasel
Here we
out
go.
of it.
This is it. Oh. He's just looking at his sketchbook right now of all the. Okay, he's throwing away this house. Here we go.
All right.
Here he goes.
Do you have Oathbound?
I do.
Pulling the Oathbound.
Okay. Now he has the ability. Okay, here he goes.
Yep, so he's going to play that into his Inquisitor.
Okay, so he plays the Oathbound, letting
He's
it
a little-
out.
He's
Now
a little hesitant there almost.
Yeah. He's got a hit right here.
Do you have
Mystic would be huge too.
Mystic?
There he goes.
There he is, yeah. He wants to get that out.
Good, good.
Can't
This is
be
good
invoked.
stuff. Now he's gonna do the thing. Dude, I'm telling you, Dan, he's been studying up. This is amazing. I love this. This is fantastic.
So
I
he's
would
going
like
to
to
invoke.
use the Sentry's ability and pick
Mhm.
up Oathbound. Is that okay?
Oof.
Yeah.
How respectful.
Swap it with a soldier.
Of
Yeah.
course, he's bluffing his card there, which I really
So now
like.
he has a 6-1 combo. So not only does he
Yeah.
have the counter
Oh,
measure,
yeah.
but he can even play
I'm
it
using
into
Inquisitor,
something.
and I'm gonna pull the Oathbound.
Oof, there it is.
Wants it
The
back,
counter. The
And
counter to the
that's-
counter.
and he's cooked now. Yeah.
Yeah. Evil.
That's
Just
it.
like that.
I
think if
can't
he-
believe you.
If he had
Tried
the
it.
king's hand,
Well, it's a best of 9. So
Yeah, it's true.
also
king's hand. If he
you-
had kept the king's hand, he would have been able to king's hand that Oathbound.
Is there a reason
that
you didn't
Inquisitor.
King's Hand it?
it was under.
Oh no. Oh no.
I would have definitely King's handed that.
Yeah.
I love how
was
Goose
like,
is
what
feeling the
happened?
I
pain.
mean, I think I had to go for this. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is all I could do.
It
You
was an
have,
interesting-
you
I don't
have
see
to
what
go
other
for
way I
it.
could have applied that.
It was an interesting choice to success through the King's Hand, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see. Maybe he was thinking that he would have countered with the king's hand, but in terms of the Inquisit, but man, it's just, it's. I don't want the kid to feel bad for that one. I think that was a bold choice. I think that the Imposter King scholars will go back to the books on this one to see what kind of chance he had. I think he was close, honestly, to at least making it a 2-point for sure, but also he could have bedazzled Goose with that play and been able to get away with it because it's really strong to have that 6-1 in that situation.
Yeah, he made it further than I suspected. And, that green side, I got to tell you, even if you just put a marble in Tabletop Simulator, it'll roll towards the green side. It's hard to explain. It's just the way it works.
All right, well, here we go, hoping for a better hand here. And not so good. I mean,
Don't
this
think you
is...
got it.
No, this
Do you
is...
get those messages before me? Because you always click next just before Simbu
Like,
sends next.
man, this guy's just like going off on his own.
Yeah.
That's still a tough hand.
I mean, it's not great. 2 7s and an 8, however, so that's nice. He's got 1 elder for support. He's got the other elders
Alright.
put away, so 3s are kind of diminished here. Man, it just would have been really nice to have a king's hand
It would have been nice to have a King's Hand.
or a princess.
It would have been nice to have any weapons. The problem is his hand doesn't have any weapons. And it doesn't even really have a great way to source a weapon except for that sentry.
You know what, Dan? You have little hope. This is a Judge Inquisitor game, and it's going to put some pressure. Now, especially if Goose decides to throw away his soldier. Now, in terms of, I said now like 3 times now, but this is it. This is the point. Goose is one of the few people who started the soldier meta, and so I think Goose is going to hold on to his soldier, which is actually going to be really interesting here, because if he does what most people do and throw away the soldier, then the judge inquisitor is really powerful, or the judge soldier is really powerful because it forces Goose to play really high cards over really small cards.
That's true. He could draw out the meat that way, and he definitely needs to go first with his hand. No
Yeah,
doubt.
absolutely.
And the other thing is, right, is he needs to be aware of the assassin.
Yeah.
He has his inquisitors and the mystic to play against the assassin, but at some point he does need to pull it. So he can't entirely focus on pulling the beefy cards. He's still got to worry about the other weapons.
I'm going
too.
to mulligan.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's a mulligan on that one. This is going to be a fast game, it seems like. It's already
Wow.
8-0. This is
then you only had
unfortunate.
You only had one elder.
And no offense, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, that's oh,
No.
these have been some hands.
See, that last one I never would have played. This one I think I would have taken a swing at.
Yeah, I think I agree. I am surprised by this one, but maybe at this point you're just kind of beat up, right? And you don't want to risk it. You're at 6-0. So there's a little bit of a factor there. Yeah, I mean, this is tough, but I hope everyone, raise your hands, put your energy together for hopefully, gather energy, give it to the kid, and we'll see what happens.
There's a reason why this game was made best first to 9. And I think we're witnessing it right now. We're witnessing a dramatic and perhaps unprecedented comeback.
That's
or
right.
Perhaps not, but we'll see. The possibility is there.
Yep. Let's see what happens next. Here we go. Fateful button press. Well, he's got to play it. Queen is face down. Still unfortunate hand. However, has
this
some
is
more
a
tools.
Marginal hand, but I think there's more he can do with it.
Yeah.
He can definitely control tempo.
Can he save 1 point though? I mean, this is the most anticlimactic final ever. It's just, oh.
Well, I think with some exceptional play that you could actually win with this hand. And you just got to play intensely risky, obviously. There's no reason not to. But I don't necessarily know if it's over.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... We're going to have to see, as you said, exceptional play. The thing the kid has to do here, which just sucks, is that since he's at the brink, at 8-0, he now has to make a guess, and he has to commit to the guess.
Yeah, I mean, the play here, the interesting play. So you don't have any royalty.
Yeah.
But one thing to note is the queen is the face down burn here.
Yeah.
So he does have that. You can control tempo because you can do a judge into inquisitor if you want.
Yeah.
And pull cards out.
Yep.
It'd be interesting about what he would want to judge here. The other thing is he does have the assassin, and he also has the king's hand, and he has both inquisitors.
Yeah.
So Goose doesn't have a lot of countermeasures against the assassin. As a matter of fact, he doesn't have any of the countermeasures of the assassin besides the mystic.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go right after the mystic or make him play something right away and see if he can survive long enough to run out the clock, which is actually possible. Because there's only one Oathbound around.
All right.
Now, he's taking away one of his inquisitors, it looks like, so he wants to keep the power of the soldier. I'm telling you, the soldier meta is strong now. All right, immediately throws his zealot down and is about to throw away his elder.
Now, I might be wrong in this, but I think The
Yeah.
kid's going to do everything he can to get that mystic out early and then just try to survive.
Yeah. I mean, it might be worth even just inquisiting it immediately. Oh, looks like he's throwing his mystic down instead. Hiding it.
Ah,
Sensing
but
that.
of course, if you hide it, it's not going to do much good against the assassin.
Correct.
Except you'll force a miss.
Maybe he's hoping to force the miss. That's where the judge is pretty powerful, though.
All right, I'm ready.
Without Oathbounds, man, Oathbounds would be really nice right now.
I actually think the kid,
Missing
because with no queen and with the assassin game as it is, I think the kid's got a shot at this. I
the
think
the problem is if he misses with the mystic, he might think that that's the throwaway as well. This could be confusing for everyone, including me. Okay. I think, knowing everything we know, now the priority is to get the sentry out of the hand and to kill it somehow. Kill the sentry, win the game.
we'll
Or
see.
just don't play an Oathbound. Sorry, Inquisitor, which, you know, as I say that,
Gonna go right for it.
he's gonna say Mystic. It's gonna hurt.
I'm
I
gonna
can't
ask
Don't say it.
for Mystic.
There it
Ugh,
is.
I do not have the mystic.
my heart.
It's okay. It's not necessarily catastrophic.
Here we
I'll
go.
play a
Miss
soldier.
this.
And I'm gonna ask if you have a judge.
I do.
What an interesting call. Seeing as he played the Inquisitor first, he went for the Judge. That's such an interesting.
Gutsy, yeah. But so will he sentry to try to pick up that Inquisitor?
I think he has to, right? But this is where he's got the King's Hand. He didn't Oathbound into that sentry, so it could be King's Handed. Let's see if Goose is Goose not using its ability? He
It's
doesn't.
not.
Interesting.
I'm gonna flip on the sentry.
I think that was a
I'm
mistake.
gonna go ahead and
yeah,
use
Goose let an
Fool.
opportunity there. But oh, here.
And
Do you King's Hand that? I think
I'm
you
gonna
do.
pick up a warlord.
King's Hand that? No? Okay. No, he's got opportunities now with the judge and stuff, so.
For the Warlord. Fascinating.
I'm going to judge.
Do you have the
I'm gonna
Warlord?
ask, do you have a warlord?
Do?
Love it. Here we go. We got the battery coming.
Okay.
Okay. Does he go again?
And then I will ask, do you have
I think he had to. I think he had to King's Hand that Warlord coming back because now this is
princess?
the perfect hand
I
for
do.
Okay.
for exactly what we're about to fear.
Yeah, a lot of I mean Goose got a lot of different angles to go here.
Go ahead and play said warlord.
Interesting. I thought he was gonna play the princess and then play
Yeah.
the Warlord.
Again,
Play King's
Princess
Hand.
Force trade is always a good outcome for Goose here. Of course, we know that.
Now Goose has a 1-point victory, 2-point victory easily here. If he plays the princess, forces the swap.
Yep.
Well, he has an elder in his hand too,
just-
unfortunately.
Just a princess.
Okay, just the
You
princess.
don't want to swap?
No.
It won't matter. He's got
No,
it.
I mean this is 2 points here. He's making it a 2-point rather than just a. Oh man. And there you have it, folks. Another 2-point victory here. Wowzers, Dan, that was a.
That's actually a 3-pointer.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Wow, what an absolute crazy game this was. Let's pull ourselves out of here real fast. That was. We got to get out. That was intense. Wow, what a crazy fast. What is that? Clocking in 40 minutes for a 12-point victory, 11-point victory.
Yeah, I really burned through quickly, and the hands moved quickly. Mostly it's because of how one-sided they were, and it's not because the kid made mistakes. The kid just really got a succession of very, very difficult hands to play,
Succession, huh?
and just at first, right, went at it riskily because again the space was there. You figured the luck will turn around, but it didn't, and the outcome ended up being a very lopsided victory, but not one that I think reflects the difference in quality of play.
Right, absolutely. I mean, there was a couple of things, right? Like he played a risky hand. It didn't work out for him. I think that there was some stuff that he could do with that risky hand, but again, that was just a risky hand in general. If anyone was going to navigate it, I would trust the kid to do it, right? And then there's another hand that he mulliganed that maybe we thought there was some opportunity there, but at that point, you don't want to take the risk. You want to go next, right? Goes next, lands on the brink, 8-0 with nothing there. So that's just really tough. And yeah, I'm being told that the players' union of the Imposter Kings wants to meet with me. So Dan, the floor is yours for a little bit here. I'll be right back.
All right, well, folks, hey, for all you out there, again, we've seen some really high quality Imposter Kings action. And again, it's shown by the knowledge that the players had going in of going right for what is the essence of the hand. And in a lot of cases, right, really high quality Imposter Kings play is predicated on two things. One is having the right card knowledge and pattern knowledge and combo knowledge to be able to figure out what a hand pivots on at the beginning. What is the strategy? So, the way they both sized up very quickly, for example, how the assassin counterplay was important in the two hands where it was essential, where in both cases, right, a player had the mystic as their only means of counterplay. Both players realized that right out of the gate. And if they both hadn't realized it, it would have shifted the power in those hands rapidly to not have that present. So that was one element to that you saw. The second thing that's so important is adapting on the fly. And we saw Goose do that very well in that last hand, to be able to recognize as the board shifted, as the guesses went, to be able to use his hand to the fullest and his options to the fullest to not fall into that trap that the kid left or had with his assassin. And it'd be very easy to lose the plot there, to let the thread run through your fingers and turn what should be a 2-point win or a 3-point win into a 2-point loss. But he didn't. Played it very well, and that's why he's walking away. It's easy to say, that the hands were lopsided, and they were this time around. Again, as Sam mentioned, it kind of was a bummer set of hands for our climax to the tournament. But you know what? It's very easy to blow that. All credit to Goose there for not blowing the opportunity there, because he got 11 points from it. He could have just as easily have walked out of that set of hands up, say, like 6-1. And if you're up 6-1 and then best of 9 or best 2-9, first to 9, just as those hands went to you for the first 3 or 4, they could go away from you and you could lose. So again, full credit to Goose for being a very worthy champion for this entire session. A really great set of hands. Now you might be wondering why I'm vamping right now and what Sinbu is doing right now and conferencing with our two great competitors. The truth is, I don't know. I don't know what they're up to, but I suspect it might be something of a discussion related to some of the luck of tonight, and perhaps they'll have a bit of an encore for all of you who've tuned in faithfully here. What is late on a Saturday night here in this part of the world, maybe early on a Sunday morning for many of you out there, but there might be an encore. So don't give up on this just yet. There might still be a little bit more Imposter Kings action left for you tonight. So something to really enjoy and savor as we ring out the tournament. And again, as noted, there was a cash prize associated with this tournament, underwritten by the kid. And the kid will be able to claim some of his staked cash back by his second place finish in the tournament. But it will be Goose who will walk away not only the true king of the season 1 split, but the truest of true kings, having reigned in this tournament. And a great tournament it was, with a lot of really great play. But exciting to see, again, this game played at a very high level. And again, don't give up just yet, because there might be a little bit more action to be able to look at tonight. So for those of you hanging in there, I see there's still a few of you in on this. And it's great to see all of you. Yeti,
I'm back.
Kilo, hey.
All right, I come bearing news. That was quite a difficult match for the kid, as everyone may know, but he immediately reached out and congratulated Goose, and they chatted about how funny the RNG was about those games. But they want to play some matches. They felt like there was a lot of mulliganing and one-sided matches. So they're going to do a showcase first to 5 match here for all the viewers at home who want to tune in and actually see some gameplay rather than some set pieces there. Goose is our official winner of the tournament, and well deserved the way he played throughout the entire tournament. But we want to see obviously Goose and the kid play some Imposter Kings. So
The kid.
So looks like I messed up our screen here. I'm going to go back to Imposter King Stadium, where we are going to reset the game. And I'm going to make Goose...
Hey, folks, what did I say? I said that there was going to be an encore tonight, most likely. Some great ongoing play, and looks like we are going to get an encore tonight between these two great competitors. A friendly first 5 match, and you know what? It should be a blast.
Yep. Absolutely.
You missed some high-quality vamping there. You're going to have to check that out on the VOD later.
Oh, I can't wait. You are getting a little choppy. I wonder if that's me or you.
All right, and I've noticed the kid's on the green side this time around, huh?
I think
Hard to say. I noticed that... is it me?
Rejoin.
Stand by.
Standing.
Stand by.
Waiting. All right. Well, for those of you joining in, we are playing the Imposter Kings Redux here. We're going to play a best of 5. I'm going to see if Dan can come back in. Dan, are you there? I wonder what his vamping was like. He had to basically stall for a bit there. For a minute. Says I'm looking for players. That's kind of cute. Oh, you know what? He might be in the waiting room. Are you in the waiting room, Dan? Are we waiting for you? No. Still waiting for Dan to reconnect here. Technical problems. All right, I guess we're going to have to start without him. Let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully there's not technical problems with me. It's so lonely in here. Oh, looks like his laptop died. All right, well, here we go. These hands are a little bit more stable here. We got ourselves the assassin being face up, so both players see that, and the sentry in number 8 is face down. We've got, wow, everyone, the folks at home are going to learn real fast that I'm nothing without Dan here when it comes to commentating, but I could try my best here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kid's screen here. We've got a much better hand than he's normally used to here. He's got a 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 5s, and a zealot. That's pretty strong. On the other side here, we've got a standard thoroughfare of just random things that would be really helpful Fortunately, no Oathbounds over here on the Fool side for Goose, but he's got 2 Inquisitors, Soldier, Warlord, and 2 Elders. Of course, 1 Elder is enough for what he needs it for. And let's see here. It looks like I think we've got Dan back here. Dan, are you with us?
I'm back. Sorry, folks. My laptop did that thing where it's plugged in, but it wasn't charging, and it ran out of juice. We are
That thing.
back.
All right. So it looks like we've got the white player Goose going first here. And as I was mentioning, we got better situation here for the kid. So we got ourselves a game. We've got ourselves the assassin as the face up card and a sentry as the face down.
Okay. So, assassinless hands, no sentry. Pretty even, I'd say, actually, looking at these 2 hands.
I think Kid's got an advantage here, although he's not going first. Yeah, and he was not the true king, so yeah, that makes sense. The Fool is an interesting hold for Goose, but I know he has to throw away an Elder, right? You can't have 2 Elders when there's only 1. Although some people have been recently doing it, I'm not sure if I really get the strategy. It looks like we're gonna hide the Queen over there on the kid's side here.
Interesting. Yes. Fool with no Oathbounds, right? So that's always a risky thing, and what you're betting on is you're going to get a king flip at a time.
Yeah, well, both players know it's going to go pretty late in the game. King flip is not risky anymore because the assassin is face up in front of everyone. So
I'm going to play an Inquisitor. I'm going to ask for...
What would you ask, Dan?
Your queen.
That
I don't have one.
All right.
I'm a huge fan of the Mystic King's Hand myself. Now this is good. This is a good counter here. He's got the battery set up too.
I'm going to play judge and ask.
Do you want to hit or do you want to know? That's the real question. If you want to hit, I think you say Elder. If you want to be a little bit more risky,
okay,
go for the princess.
I would usually go Warlord if I need to hit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think people hold on to the Warlord?
Warlord usually doesn't get hidden, usually doesn't get tossed.
Yeah,
sturdy card always in the hand.
That's a good one. He went with the princess and got it, so that's nice. He's got some info. He went with the risky path, got some info.
Do you have a king's hand?
I do.
All right.
Both players are literally just scouting each other right now. It's actually kind of funny because this is like the first time in Imposter Kings.
Not really.
Where you're really kind of like actually able to use all these cards to figure out what the other person has. Battleships.
I'm going to ask, do you have a Fool?
I do.
What's interesting is he probably should have suspected it when he played the soldier hit and then didn't flip anything. That to me says he definitely have a Fool.
Yeah. And now you flip everything, I think.
Yeah, and I think keeping again that Fool's a mistake because not only do you have neither Oathbound, you know that the kid likely has the Queen. So by the time the Fool's emerging, I'm going to guess you're not going to have much to pick.
I'm surprised that he didn't flip over more things. There's nothing else that he can use his cards on, right? Like, and you know that he has the Fool, so you might as well have everything flipped.
Yeah, there's no purpose in leaving it around.
Maybe he's killing the Fool here, and that's the reason why. He's just like, it's not going to matter.
I'm going to use Mystic's ability on ones.
There you go.
Okay.
You have to use
I would
your
like
one.
to inquisit a king's hand.
Never mind. You don't have to until he flips. Never mind.
And then I will play a princess. And I would like to trade.
So he's going to swap, which is a shame, actually, because getting one of those Oathbounds to go with his Fool would have been a really potent thing.
No surprises what you gave me.
Same time, that Fool is never going to get played at this point.
Yeah.
It's zombie, but the kid's got an Oathbound, so he could actually do a 6-1 combo right now and pick up the King's Hand again.
But Dan, you forgot. The kid killed all ones.
Oh, right.
The
secret
counter to the Mystic is the princess.
Ah, yes.
The painful, painful thing.
So that is a bummer. Hey, on the plus side now, it'll be a 3.
There's the 6-1 combo you're talking about.
So I did get to use it.
It's a
Just not
3.
for the potency,
I'm not
and it
sure if
is a
that
3.
matters.
And most likely, I forget what the kid's got as his successor.
This is so strange. Oh, my goodness. Yep. This is a one-pointer.
It is a 1-pointer. Yeah.
As assassin face-up games often go.
Eked it out.
Oh, 1 pointer.
Full game.
Solid 1 point. Ooh.
Interesting
Damn.
play.
I could have won there.
I think the kid could have won
But
there, and he's figuring it out
If you
right
had
now.
sentry, I would have lost.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think that was winnable.
If you had like these two,
And this.
or these two and this, because if I flip on the princess, then I just pray the queen beats you, and that. But yeah, if you've got any of your high cards and an elder, I lose. So
Mhm.
I think this is a
There's no way to get rid of the fool.
yeah.
Well, there you have it. First game going 1 point over to Goose. Definitely not a 3-point game on a 9, first to 9, but it was close. I think the kid could have pulled that one out as he's discussing. He's thinking about it, but it's really hard to know again. And I think both had some pretty good plays there. You know, it's just Goose with the princess. Goose with the princess. He knows you're going to mystic his ones. He then uses the princess to swap it. It's brutal. I mean, stuff that people don't think about.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder. I mean, the fool was a pivotal part of that, and a lot of the kids' counterplay was around dealing with the fool. And I just wonder if maybe that's where where he could have taken a different road is that earlier fork.
Yeah.
To instead of worry about the fool so much, just lay down the queen and try something different, or do a king flip early and try something different when there wasn't that much to pick up.
Yeah.
Still.
And here's that RNG that the kid is known for. Not a great hand here. Looks like the face down card is the sentry again. So this looks like a terrible hand again for the kid. It's not as bad as he thinks it is, but it's still pretty bad. Both elders, both royalty over at the hands of the goose. The goose. The one thing is that if you have 2 elders and 2 royalty, it's not actually great for you. Other than the fact that you know that you've kind of got some dead cards that you can get rid of, but
Well, you know that your opponent doesn't have those
yeah,
elders
that's the
either,
big
which
thing.
is now
But
the kid doesn't have a good hand here, but it is a very survivable
yeah,
hand, one that
absolutely.
you might be able to get a 1-point loss out
absolutely,
of.
you can definitely get a 1-point loss out of this hand, for sure. You got two,
You can start.
you got a zealot, you got 2 oathbounds. I mean, throwing a soldier away, getting that zealot down. He knows he's just
Yep, and I suspect he'll want to go first because
And
he'll
I'm
want to
just
get
gonna
rid of
go
his
low.
cards and control the game. So lead with a judge, probably lead with the battery, and just try to
he
run
decided
away.
to let Goose go first though.
Hmm.
I'm surprised that he didn't go for the battery either. There is that pesky warlord.
You know, one thing is to do the battery. Yeah, because really the cards you're trying to get rid of, you're trying to get rid of your soldier and your mystic, weirdly enough. Because those are the ones that, can be bottled up by numbers.
Yep. Looks like he's throwing away the assassin instead. Not
Yeah,
so sure.
I think
I'm not so sure about that. I think you hold on to the assassin anyways, just because the elder's doing nothing in your hand.
Yeah, the Elly's completely useless.
I'm back.
It
All
seems
right.
like an interesting choice.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
How many games have we seen where it's
Right,
let
so
off
I
with an
know
elder?
I know what that means.
I mean, he should have done. I mean, one elder,
That's
sure.
that's nice for me. Okay.
This is called the Elder Gambit.
Do you think it's a mind game? You know, because the kid would never suspect that he'd have two
It's
elders
the
in his
Gambit.
hand.
He's inviting him to take it. With none of the cards. Maybe he thinks he has a sentry. It's like a. But no, here we go. I think. I mean, I'm not so sure I agree with this opening, but I do think the kid now has the power. Now he's debating whether he should do. He hovered over the soldier for a second there. I think he was debating whether he should go soldier, just straight up, because he
Do
does have
you
the opportunity.
Queen.
I do.
So here's the battery. So that worked out great for the kid. The goose kind
I'm
of let
gonna
him
go
have
ahead
that,
and
actually.
Flip on that.
Slipping on that, that means he's going to get a powerful 7 coming in if he chooses.
You know, I've learned never to bet against Goose on any of this, but
Yeah.
that was a very interesting opening, and
Do you
then
have
I'm not
assassin?
sure.
I do not.
Okay. And now he knows he doesn't have the assassin, so now he can use the 7 for something else. There's nothing really crazy that he would use it on other than maybe the 1, but you know what happens if you mystic something with the goose and a princess. I've learned my lesson. I just learned it last game.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the kid, if I'm the kid in this situation, I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to empty my hand. King flip has already happened.
I'm gonna play princess. And I want to swap.
Of course,
Princess.
that's why he kept both elders, so he could dump one. But
Oh,
It's
you
not
mean
a
it's the
dump
elder?
in
It's
this
the
Right.
elders, the elder gambit, where he gives him the elder and then he warlords him.
yeah, that would be my guess. He's trying to.
The
He
warlord
kept
gambit's
both.
always a fun one. Oh, here we go, Mr. Pusher over here. This is the second royalty, so he knows that his zealot's gonna be fine no matter what. I mean, I think Goose is in trouble here. Oh,
I-
but Goose can inquisit out the zealot.
Do you have a zealot?
Oh.
Yeah.
I do. You keep double elder. Double royalty. I was wrong. I didn't know what it meant when you played
You had
elder.
no
first.
clue.
Yeah, no idea.
Now, we got Oathbound. He's got to play the Warlord. He plays the Mystic. Gige.
Yeah, I think Goose was
Okay.
trying something out on this one.
I mean, I think he banked on the Gambit, which got King's handed.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You know that's again something that Goose is way out ahead of a meta, and even my own thinking on this is, yeah, trash is an advantage when you have the princess. You know, it's oftentimes advantageous to have a card that's useless to dump on your opponent at the worst time.
I really think that Gambit was great. I just think that the King's hand is going to stop it. And right now the kid's like, wait, do you have a sentry? Because if you have a sentry, you win. There's nothing I can do to prevent that, except for by using the Mystic. Why, though? Why would he do it that way? It doesn't make a difference.
Mystic, and I won't use its ability.
I can't win. Oh, you guessed lucky. Oh man.
Oh, he was just emptying his hand in case. That's
Why didn't
fair.
you Mystic Eights there?
Yeah, he was hoping to
What's
Mystic
the
Eighth.
point?
Yeah, kid
I've got my
wanted it
cousin
to be
here.
a 1-point loss when the sentry came out, and instead is delighted to
Oh,
get
I-
a 2-point win.
What? Dude, this is a 7. You play the 7 on the 7, then you Mystic Eights. And then I play my 8 that becomes a 3, and you get a point.
Yeah, but I didn't. I don't know. I was just looking through everything.
I'm surprised he didn't do that. I might have fallen for that
Oops.
trap that Goose laid there at the end. Goose laying traps.
Sometimes your antennas just go up, and you can just figure out the burn card based off of how a player is playing.
I was
And Goose
hoping
tried
you'd
to
be
cover his
guessing this.
tracks there. It really did.
Yeah, boy,
But
that
I think the
was.
kid just sussed out the fact that the sentry wasn't around just by the patterns of what Goose was doing.
Hey, let's just keep playing with the assassin not being in play. How about that? Jeez.
So, interesting set. Once again, Goose gets both royalty, just one elder this time. And the kid,
And an Oathbound.
yeah,
And he has an Inquisitor, so if he gets that other Oathbound out, it's lights out.
yeah, the kid's
Mhm.
in a bind again. This is not terrible, but I
I would mulligan
Oh,
this
of
one.
course.
yeah.
I think you have to mulligan this one. It's not worth it, especially if you're playing to a 5 match. I think the kid never wants to mulligan again, though. And I don't blame him.
Well, I don't know. I look at the kid's hand, and there's no assassin, and you do have countermeasures for the
Ooh,
royalty,
I would hide that Oathbound, though.
and it's somewhat survivable. And you think, I think I could get a 2-point loss out of this without using my mulligan.
Gotta hide that Oathbound. It's gotta be secret. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Where's the judge? What? Successor
Judge, I think, is
judge?
face down burn.
No, it's successor for
Oh, he's
Goose.
successor to judge.
Really?
That's
Zealot's the face down.
All right.
an unusual move.
I think
I'm
you
playing Inquisitor, and I'm gonna ask for an Elder.
I do not have an elder.
got
Alright.
him.
Well, it's smart, right? You either go for the elder or the oathbound, and he picked right about which to hide.
I will play my own Inquisitor,
Mm-hmm.
and I will ask.
Princess first, then Queen. That way your Warlord has some staying
for
power.
Princess.
That's the right one. He's thinking about whether you should King's Hand that.
Yeah, I mean, with Goose especially, yeah, make him play the princess early so he doesn't swap when he's playing it out.
I think you King's Hand this as Goose. Swap the 8 for a 9.
Okay.
What's that
I
happen?
want to trade.
Wants to trade. Interesting that he wants to trade. I think you give the soldier here.
Yeah, gotta give a soldier here.
You can't give the Oathbound. Don't you even hover over that. He's... Alright.
So he concedes the fool. Even not having king flipped his king, even with the other oathbound unaccounted for.
Yeah, and I mean now he can Oathbound Fool if he wants. Why not?
To pick up an Inquisitor. Yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, I think Goose is probably counting on the Queen making a lot of this irrelevant.
So do it now. Do it now! Either that or he has to flip his
Very
king, right?
interesting.
That's right. Be interesting if you picked up that Inquisitor.
Oh, he
now he's gonna do
flips.
the king flip.
Interesting. I would have definitely done the Inquisitor. Now I'm feeling like I'm back to my old self. Feeling like I'm out
Well-
of touch with...
I'm gonna play Soldier.
No, it's the
and
kids
I'm
who are
gonna ask
wrong.
if you have an Oathbound.
I do.
Well, it's interesting. He
Now
has
you
the
kill this.
Elder hidden, so a Queen play means he could.
Yeah, of course. He's been saving. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I still think you want to do the 6-1 before Queens
Not
and
gonna
all sorts of
disgrace
things are
itself?
happening.
Nah.
Okay.
Thought about it.
Bring down the Mystic.
But you know, at the start of this hand, the kid was definitely at a disadvantage, and I actually think that the kid is in an okay spot
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
he's
There are
pretty
paths to
good.
victory.
Yeah. I think you just drop that 7. And you don't say anything. Mum's the word.
Mystic, just as a plain 7.
There it is. There we go. Let's
Simple
go.
Biz Cash 7.
Cash Sev against the 689. Love it.
Play
Okay.
queen.
And it's a queen, wipes the board.
But he's got that elder. Goose has to pretty much flip here in order to get rid of the warlords. Oh no, it's already too late.
So now,
Oh no,
yeah,
you
the
save
big
that.
warlord
You
hit.
save the big warlord. You play the Oathbound here. Save the biggie. Yeah.
Well, warlord forces the flip, then you can fool the queen, and you're sitting pretty at that point.
Play the king's hand, or you flip. He flips. Flipadelphia.
So flip on that.
All right,
Got
he's
to
got
play
his
a fool
escape
now.
hatch. He's got the escape hatch if the kid plays the fool. Don't do it. Yeah, don't let him escape. Come on. Fool gets a 2-point victory here if he throws down the warlord right now.
Oh yeah, you're right, because there's just nothing there.
The fool's a trap.
You're right.
If he plays the fool, he's got the judge hatch. Not only does he have the judge hatch, he has it. He knows for sure what he's going to have in his hand, so he's definitely going to be able to hatch out.
You're right. It would be.
I feel
There's
like,
no
oh
lot to
no,
talk
the
about
fool's
it.
the
I went
fool.
for it,
The fool is a trap. Ugh.
and he picks up
Pick up
the
Oathbound.
Oathbound with it, which is a
Alright.
curious go. Well, there it is.
And you call
Yep,
for
he's gonna
the
be able to
the
weasel
judge.
out.
And ask if you have an Oathbound.
I do.
He hatched out.
Interesting. I didn't see that. I can't, even with omniscience, I missed that initially.
The fool trap. It's
Nice
so
one
good.
corner.
Oh. Dang.
Well done by the goose.
I thought you
Well,
had it. I was like, oh, if he plays warlord, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I almost played Warlord instead of Fool. That's why I paused.
Was
For a while.
warlord your second, the card in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you like go straight to the fool. And he slowly went to the one in the middle. Was like, oh, it's a warlord.
Love it.
well, it was a great escape by Goose to wriggle
Well,
out of a
it's good.
2-point loss.
You have 1 point.
But still, that was a heck of a play by the kid to take what was a disadvantageous hand at the
To
beginning
kid.
and turn it into a win at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I think the kid really would have liked the 2 points there, but that, is still a point. Still
We were
closer
talking
to
about
victory.
mulliganing that hand at the start.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Okay, but let's let bygones be bygones, Dan, and let's go to the next hand. I don't know what that expression means, but I
I
assume
think I'm gonna
it was
mulligan.
used correctly. Oh my god, what a fast mulligan from
You're
Goose.
gonna use the mulligan? Okay.
Yeah.
Guess.
Check this out.
Boy, was that.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a
Fair enough.
mulligan hand, per se, but maybe it was a mulligan hand.
Even, yeah,
Look, he doesn't
I
like
mean,
it. Let him...
I guess.
I probably could have played that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boy, you're really putting your faith in the hands of the RNG to mulligan on a 3-1 score first to 5 with a hand like that.
That's
You're
true.
saying, well, this is okay, but maybe if I toss it in, I can get 2 great hands and win this.
Yeah. What's the chat saying, Dan?
Let's see. Dot Sam would have mulliganed that last hand for sure. It was interesting. It was an interesting.
Any emotes?
Folks, we could use a few emotes in that chat. If you got any poggers you want to toss in there, just to get some hype going, now's the time.
Nothing says, hello, fellow kids, how are you doing, than if we could get some poggers in the chat. Some 2008 Twitch commentary from Dan.
So for those of you who are in on the Justin TV train like I am, I highly
have you
recommend
go
you find
first.
these new
I'm sorry?
emoji
Okay.
Yeah.
symbols.
Yes. I hear it is hype and not cringe. Oh gosh, the internet. All right, kid is looking bad again. Looks like that mulligan woke Tabletop Simulator up, and he was like, "Wait a second, hold up, we gotta fix this for Goose, right?" And gave Goose a pretty good hand here. I'm not gonna lie. He's throwing away an Elder, keeping the Fool as his hidden card. Interesting choice for a hidden card. That means he has to flip early. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a great hand for the kid. In fact, I probably would have mulliganed as the kid in this one, but
Would have been tempted.
tempted,
He's,
exactly.
he's only
I'm
got
going to
one.
Do you have King's Hand?
I do.
So the
Elder Inquisitor Zealot, and then he's got an Elder down here just for backup. And it looks like he opted to go for Battery rather than Judge into Inquisitor here.
well, because he knows he has the king's hand, does Goose. So he just inquised it for the assassin and get king's handed, and then he'd be cooked. Like it would be no
soldier.
recourse at that point.
See, look at the soldier meta, dude. I told you, Goose holds on to these soldiers. It's him and his brother Yeti.
And I'm gonna ask. What am I gonna ask? I'm gonna ask if you have an Inquisitor.
I do.
One other thing that you should notice about Goose,
Using the ability. Okay.
Dan, if you look at Goose's hands in general, and the fact that he was talking about the kid and how he hovered over cards, have you noticed something that Goose does that no other player really does?
He never sorts his cards.
Exactly. It's actually his brother Yeti, who is a professional Hearthstone player. I'm not sure if he's actually a professional, but I know he's good. He basically instilled that into
Do
Goose
you have Assassin?
at a young age.
I do.
Looks like we're going. Yeti's gonna get so mad when he hears this pod. But I think they,
I'm gonna
like
go ahead and Mystic Fours.
Yeti's not gonna have to wait because Yeti's on the chat right now. There, Simbu.
oh, there he goes. There he goes again. He's gone ahead and mysticked fours. So that's the only escape he has out of an assassin. This is some immaculate play from Goose. Really squeezing it. But yeah, no, I think Yeti, good at card game, told Goose never sort hand. Or Goose just did it himself. I don't know. I think they talked about it once.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you'll
this
tell us in
hand.
the chat.
Yeah, and this hand again, that's the killer. One of the things
Yep.
you should always assess in your hand, or if I don't have the assassin, what are the assassin counters I have?
Yep.
And if I do have the assassin, what are the assassin counters my opponent might have?
I'll flip.
And
why did he flip?
just gave a point. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have. I thought he thought he had him dead to rights already, but maybe he just thought, hey, you know what? Evaluated. I need more cards. But yeah, I mean, like the kid, I would have thought that my Oathbound would have been my safety net to getting the Inquisitor out, and that Mystic was really powerful there. Again, soldier meta. He was able to Mystic because of the soldier.
Yep. There's princessin and then a murder.
And then a murder.
Yeah.
All right, that's 2 points. 2 points to Goose. We're at 3-3.
Again,
After
curious. I
Judge,
wonder
Soldier,
what
Mystic,
Goose
I was-
saw in
yeah.
that hand that forced the king flip there, because it seemed like it could have been a 3-point win.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just... Oh. RNG is now putting the assassin here. What are the chances? Chat, go ahead and type in what are the chances of that happening. 18 cards in the deck. Every single time the face-up card is the assassin. That's 3 times. Is this a choose or is this a permutation?
It's just multiplicative. It's 18 squared.
It's actually 18 cubed. Dan has been 3 hands.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess. Well, yeah. I was thinking.
Dan, you're
it
always
could be any
focusing on
card.
math. Let's focus on the hands here.
What I was thinking is any case where it could be 3 in a row, but it's specifically the assassin 3 in a row. You're right. It's 3. 1 to the 18. Whatever. All right. Um, so yeah, in this case, the kid's got a pretty interesting hand. He's got the Oathbound Fool, one royalty, nothing else meaty. Um, and Goose has got both the eights, both the elders.
I would like to go first. Or, yeah, yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's smart for the kid to go first and amp up some soldiers, force the play, and then just pick something big with
Yeah.
his fool.
So he's tossing the soldier here. All right. He's got the zealot here. Didn't want to go with the double soldier strat. Throwing away the sentry, throwing away the elder, keeping the sentry here. And yeah, just another solid hand for Goose. We'll see if Kid can bring down this new tyrant. Would you mulligan here, Dan, if you were the kid? You know,
For
it's
that
3-3 playing to a 5. You got a free mulligan.
Oh, it's a good point, right? But you could just as easily get a
This
crappy hand as a good
second
one, and
time.
this one's
Do you
okay.
have king hand?
I do.
Calls the king's hand, goes for battery.
Roger.
This seems to be a common theme for him. He prefers the battery over the Inquisitor. And you're right. On a hand where there's no assassin, the chances of you losing 1 point go up
I'm gonna
by
flip.
1 point is way higher because usually the game plays out. We've got ourselves. Here we go.
Do you have assassin?
I do not.
His hand goes to the face-up burn. Was that an intentional miss, do you
It
think?
has to be, yeah. He doesn't want him to be able to use his Oathbound. The Oathbound's power.
That's smart. Guess the face-up burn, so you don't give up anything in your own hand.
I'm sorry.
He's still cracking up about it.
I'm just gonna play a sentry.
Cool.
What do you think you do? What would you do here, Dan?
I think at this point, what would I do here? I think so much of this revolves around that fool play. I think I'd go with my queen right now.
Yeah, start the end game. Only issue is that then you still need to keep your king for.
I'll flip on it.
All right.
All right.
So now he has to keep his queen or his Oathbound for. And this is
Do you
gonna
have a
pull one of them.
queen?
Okay, so he pulls the queen out.
I do.
Now I can inquisit.
And you should inquisit the princess here.
Yep.
Do you have a princess?
Hmm.
He might need to king's hand this. Man, the warlord being tucked away is very sad. This is the most warlordable hand ever for both sides.
I do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is he gonna play it? He is. Interesting.
All right, now gotta
Would you
be
like to
fool.
swap?
Yes, you. This is. There's nothing. Boy, it would have been really nice for Goose to be able to play that Mystic, but he's just never been given the chance.
Sure.
Goes and throws the Mystic at him.
Yep. Gets the zealot back. So now the kid only has one play. Well, he has more than one play, but one play that's sensible. Yep.
Infinite possibilities, Dan.
I think there were actually only two possibilities there, Steven.
No, not. He could have fooled anything.
He thinks that was a bad
what he
idea.
picks up. Yeah, sorry. I meant, switch card to play. But
I'm getting sassy at night. I'm sorry, Dan. I think you go for the 1 point loss here. And I think that's what he's doing. And this is a 1-point loss to Goose. Because there is literally one play here, which is going to be the queen. It's a forced line of playing then Oathbound into Zealot.
Yep. So that'll toss everything. He has to do Oathbound Zealot. And then the kid gets the last word with,
Escapes with 1 point.
yeah.
Boy, I tell you, those face-up assassin games, they usually end up with 1 point, but when it's a 3-3 game
was
going to
afraid of this.
5, that's insane, right? Like
So was I.
you're now
Yet you handed away your Zealot.
if you don't get that 1 point, then it turns into
I guess you were gonna.
your opponent
that's
winning, and now it's just gonna be close. But the good news is that the goose,
Right.
the,
Wait,
the
2.
goose, gets advantage with the true king for the next
It's
round.
true. You know, we talked about whether the kid would mulligan that, and you know, he gets the 1 point out of it. So now, if he gets anything that's marginal, yeah, absolutely, I'd mulligan at this point. This hand, I don't know if that's marginal. It's pretty good.
It looks pretty good to me. I think both sides actually have some pretty good zingers, if you will.
As Sam has pointed out in the chat, this game played to 5 is going to have more rounds, quite a few more rounds than the 2-9 match we had earlier tonight.
Sam, the royal statistician here, is computing things in the annals. I
I'm gonna
think,
have you go first.
and notably
You'd like
for
me
the
to start?
person who
Mhm.
used to
Interesting.
record all the games, he's
Okay.
having the kid go first here, which is kind of interesting, as the kid noted, because the kid has a really powerful hand, and now he's giving him the opportunity to use all those tools that are really powerful.
Yeah, he's a powerful hand with all the opening parts
Yeah.
too.
Yep. And Goose, however, has got his princess. And look, I never count Goose out if he's got his princess. Let's just
Well,
put it that way.
I'd be if I were the kid, I'd be curious to just pull the princess right at the beginning, just to judge into something in the Inquisitor and pull the princess, and you know, basically denude that tool from Goose's hand right away.
It's great vocabulary. Denude. Denude indeed. Let's see if he does it. He's now looking over here. Looks like everything's getting changed up a bit. It looks like he wants to keep the battery again, or is he just going to keep the soldier? Interesting. He's not even battering anymore. He's now he's completely changed his strategy to now just be Inquisitor first.
One goes right for the princess.
Or, I mean,
I'm
wouldn't you
gonna
get
ask,
hit like
do you have
Oathbound?
Mystic?
He hits the one card that he hid.
What did he say?
Mystic.
Oh, that's a big miss.
That's crazy. I mean, how does Goose get away with this? This is insane.
Now the kid's in real trouble because he doesn't have an answer for the assassin.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he does. He's got the king's sorry.
Oh yeah, it's king's hand. Sorry,
The
you're
king's
right.
hand, but Goose has.
Flip.
I guess he's just giving that second chance almost immediately. He really wants
Wow.
to. I think he really wants to use his. I could see him even doing Oathbound into Mystic here. Really, really rubbing in the faces here.
Now, strong play right now would be a sentry.
That's right. That
Of
would
course, you
cut
probably
through.
get a zealot on that.
I'll flip too.
Oh, he's gonna flip early so that way he pulls the assassin before Goose can try to mess with it. That's pretty smart.
Interesting. Okay.
Now we just have a good old honest game of Imposter Kings. No tricks, no
I'll play
assassins,
soldier.
no king's hands, just straight up soldiers. The way the game should be played.
And I'm gonna
That
ask.
was a wild
Do you
opening.
have a queen?
I do.
That was a wild
All right.
opening. Way different than I think we would have thought was going to be played at all.
Yes.
So this is tough for Kid now. I mean, I'm surprised. Like this has gone really back and forth, the swing here. Now, of course, the Kid only needs 1 point here. And there we go. He does that
I'll
thing
play
you're saying.
sentry.
Strong play with the sentry.
Humble sentry.
There's the sentry. Or sorry, there's the zealot that you expected as well.
You got to hit and then wipe
He has
and
to
make the
hit.
I
fool.
will
Yeah.
soldier and ask, do you have princess?
I do.
Okay, you got a clean house now.
Cool.
1, 2, 3. Well done. Does the Oathbound Fool anyways. Probably going to pick the Oathbound back up.
Yeah, they might get. Yeah, would have to be.
Okay.
What an interesting combo. What an interesting situation at the moment.
Yeah. Kid only needs 1 point.
I don't know how he's going to get 1 point with the cards as they are.
Yeah. It's
I
the
think-
princess, of course. Goose has the princess and card advantage, and that's always going to net you a sad face emoji.
Yeah, I'd be tempted actually. This might sound crazy, but I'd be tempted to burn the elder here, even though you know he's got royalty, just to get to the 1 point loss.
Throws out the Oathbound.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. He's encouraging it. But what I think what he's thinking maybe is that if he exchanges out the queen, he knows that he has the ability to play the elder on the queen or the princess. But the goose knows how to play the princess. He's holding it to the very last minute here.
This, I get the sense that this could end here in a moment. Now Goose has up, but it
Am I
won't.
trade?
Yes, it will.
And that's it.
Head mystic. Damn.
And that's 2
Boy,
points
I was
over to
hoping you
Goose.
had,
Jeez. This is
I
exactly...
was hoping this was your last card.
This is the thing I was saying. Goose is insane with this princess.
This was a really swinging hand. So the
Yeah.
kid had the advantage in the cards,
Yeah.
then lost it by missing the guess.
Yeah.
It was
But
so
then the next
Good game.
exchange, he managed to wrangle
was,
back the advantage and then
very
let it slip
close
through his fingers
to.
at the
There were
end.
so
of the
many
end
games
play.
where it was so close to me being able to do my thing. I just could not do it.
Do his thing. My goodness. I mean, I think that was... Gosh, that was some really good play at the end there. I mean, I think Goose's ability to take advantage of that swing, as you mentioned, missing the guess, right? But then the kid fired back with a timely king flip and a soldier hit that wiped the board. I mean, it just went back and forth, and it really... Wow, like I mean, it was close because the kid only needed 1 point. Goose needed 2 points or 1 point just to get away with it. But since he had the princess and he had card advantage, that's all it takes. You can't go endgame with that. It's so difficult to beat that unless you somehow manipulate the trading mechanic.
Yep.
Well,
Wow.
there you have it, Dan. That was a couple of intense games, and as Sam pointed out, as you said, this is more than the actual 9-set series that we had earlier. Let's go ahead and pull ourselves out of Imposter King's stadium here, and we can talk about what's going on in the real world.
I see. We want to talk about politics.
Please
no, I don't think we don't want to. I definitely don't think we want to do that. But the real world here outside of Imposter King Stadium, I think, is really happy and delighted by the quality of play we saw in Imposter King Stadium. Again, great hands from two great players, and a lot of interesting meta. Definitely a lot of things that run counter to conventional wisdom that worked out very well. And
Yeah, I
this
think
shows
so.
how these players are pushing it forward.
Yeah, I think gosh, like I could just watch them play a set every day. In fact, we should probably bring back our weekly show matches. That's back in the day when I used to beat you every single time by hiding an assassin and you being very surprised by the fact that I hit the assassin. Um, it's just a joke, dude. I'm sorry. It was a really fun back and forth, though. I mean, between you and I think that we now have players who have evolved beyond our plays here, especially with, as I mentioned, they're holding on to the soldiers, and those soldiers came into real handy like near the end in those last couple of games. So having a weekly match where we can show off Goose's playstyle, the kids' playstyle, I think would be really interesting, and we were able to get a glimpse of that today.
I mean, it's exactly it. They're pushing the meta forward, and they're finding new things in the cards that keep surprises coming, and it's just really exciting and interesting to watch. So
Yeah.
we really got a treat this evening, especially with the encore. And again, cheers to both players for some extra Imposter Kings tonight. It would be a delight every week to see how they're pulling the game forward.
Yeah, and like that showcase in the end. First off, congrats to Goose on winning the tournament and also winning the mini best of 5 with that final play there with his princess to look out for, as I would like to say. We're gonna pull in the kid first, just to quickly, first of all, congratulate him on a great run and a greatly run tournament and a great run itself. Get him in right here. Hello. It's the kid himself. How are you?
Congratulations on a very well played set of matches, even as the RNG was pretty abusive tonight.
We can't hear you anymore. Although you are unmuted, but I did hear you initially. While he's figuring that out, I just want to mention, look at that background, though. He's got the Warlord, he's got the Oathbound. Some pretty cool sketches, yeah.
You see a king poking up with some awesome original art.
Yeah.
And an excellent thing to adorn one's home with.
Yes.
And I believe it's up on the merch store, right, Cena? Can you buy the Imposter Kings art?
You are able to buy them, but they just have to contact me. I don't have it self-serve yet. In the kid's case, he is the true king, and I do like to send a little care package to those who have not only won tournaments but have given back to the community. And the kid is one who A, started this tournament, but B, also has contributed a lot with the puzzles. So, yeah, it's fantastic. Go ahead, Ben.
All right.
All right, perfect.
Should be able to hear me now.
Yes, absolutely. We were just saying, despite the RNG destroying you, first and foremost, congratulations on running a wonderful tournament. Thank you so much for funding it, for putting it together, getting the community together. And as I was mentioning, you're true king in multiple ways. Really appreciate you putting up those puzzles on the Discord. If you don't know about these puzzles, you guys should try them out. They're on the Discord. They're real fun. I've gotten pretty much all of them except for the 2v2 one and a couple of the newer ones. But anyways, thank you so much. Just wanted to say that first and foremost. Now, tell us what...
Thank you for making the game and everything. I'm glad to be a member of the community, and I try and put in, run tournaments, make things happen. It's very good. It's a great community.
And speaking, the great video you put out as well with the greater strategy, we got to see some of those strategies play out here today. Talk us through some of the games that you had today. What were the most interesting ones?
Well, I think one of the most important games was the last hand before I got beaten 11-0 to Goose. I was sitting there with only one answer to royalty if I flipped on non-royal card. But when I'm down 8-0 like you have to play to win.
Right.
So I flipped anyway. If he doesn't have royalty, then I'm in a much, much better spot than I would be otherwise, and I might actually have a chance to
Yeah.
come back.
Yep.
So I think that's a very common decision that you'll get as you play hands. Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. I mean, when you're down 8-0, you have to make a decision and go with it, right? Like it's not you can't dilly dally. You have to think. I'm gonna have to take a risk here, right? And I think that it was close, but it just didn't work out in your favor. And I particularly, you'll hear in the VOD, I'm sure you'll watch it later. I'm really proud of you for going after that one hand where it was basically an impossible win. I think that there was like one or two missteps that were easy for us to see as omniscient beings who knew exactly what the kid, Goose had in his hand. But I think that you were close, and it was a risky hand to play out. But I think that you started the right line, which I think maybe a year ago that would have never been a possibility, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think, I know it's, you've got stuff to do on Sunday over in New Zealand for your exams and whatnot, so I don't want to keep you too long, but I did want to make sure that we pulled you in and congratulated you on such a great tournament, a great run. You had some crazy games. That .sam game was insane as well. And this best of five or first to five was really an entertaining watch. As Dan was saying, the win percentage graph went up and down like crazy on that last game. That initial guess, the Mystic, unfortunate. But then there was also a respite where you were able to kind of come back, but it ended with Goose having a princess with card advantage, and we all know how that story rolls.
Yeah. I just want to shout out to all the players before I leave that played in the tournament. Thank you all for playing. Some of you, technically all of you lost to me and Goose, but I really appreciate all you guys playing, and I hope you had a good time in the tournament. So yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate the time, kid, and we will definitely be seeing you more later on.
Yeah.
What a wonderful guy. Wonderful
Absolutely.
member of the community.
Again, the kid has done so much for the Imposter Kings community and getting this tournament together and staking it, and also for the game itself on the table, again, with the strategy and the insight and the puzzle aspect of it. And it's really, really terrific to have in the community someone like that who's just terrific and giving so much and just a mensch in the purest form.
Man, that word is coming up more and more often. Wonderful. Mensch. Is that Yiddish?
It is, yeah. It's and it's a term of high approbation.
That's wonderful. On the other side, we have Noah, aka Goose. Let's go ahead and pull him in real fast. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
The big orange N is back, baby.
Mr. Goose himself. Congrats on your victory in both games tonight.
Thanks.
One was by you. I think the other was by you and
by Platty.
And Platypus collaborating. No, I honestly, I mean, it even with the RNG, there's that the kid is a competitor, and if you make a mistake, he's going to take advantage of it. So you still went through and made sure that you secured that victory. And then you secured that second one with, as I was just telling the kid and viewers, the sinusoidal win rate going up and down, you deciding to put your Mystic down and the kid going for that, really kind of changing the course of that game. But yeah, just wanted to ask you, is there any memorable games or anything that you want to talk about in terms of tonight's matches?
I had one hand where I had both royalty. I think both Oathbounds. I had an Elder, and then one was like the face up burn.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm gonna play it." And I was like, "You're gonna what?"
Yeah.
And it actually went further than I expected. the fact that he's like, all right, I'm gonna force out your Oathbound, and then he got my Mystic out. Um,
But he wasn't
and
expecting your Inquisitor.
no,
That
I
was the
like.
only thing he needed to take care of. And this is what I was saying is that was such a fascinating match. Exactly what your reaction was, I think, was what everyone's reaction was. But if anyone could do it, it's the kid, and I think he was close. He just needed to have an answer for the Inquisitor, and I think going back to the game with obviously omniscient, understanding what everyone had in their hands, there might be a solution there. And I'm really happy that situation happened rather than just a quick mulligan. But unfortunately, it did end in him leading towards his downward spiral of losing 11-0. But
Well, yeah, and again, full credit, even with the RNG being as severe as it was in that first match, it still could just as easily, without great play on your end, been say like 7-0 or even something like 6-1 rather than 11-0 when all was said and done. And of course, what happens then is the door is open on the 1st-9 game where just as easily the RNG could swing the other way.
Yep.
So you still have to play the hands really well to make sure that the ball ends up in the net, so to speak.
Yeah.
We were joking about the fact that it was like 8-0. And I was like, I'm still like not sure that I have this yet. There's
Yeah,
still
you
like
never
a
know.
huge chance that he just like rails me back and like I lose.
Yeah.
And he completes his protagonist arc.
And then you'd be the anti-hero, but then you'd be the ally next season or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm way, way weaker.
Oh, then you get sidelined. Oh no. Which anime were we talking about here?
Oh, man, any of them.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, congrats. I mean, first and foremost, we just talked a bunch of stuff, so this wouldn't be first and foremost. So I'll just say congrats again on winning. You have successfully toppled the kid at his on his his mound of gold and have become a first place winner. So you'll be winning the $180 plus the fact that you're able to gloat. And as I was mentioning to Dan earlier, hoping that you two have some showcase matches. Even a weekly thing. Me and Dan used to do it, but me and Dan are old people now who who don't hold on to soldiers like you guys do. So you'll hear a lot about that commentary later on. I do have another question for you. Why do you not arrange your hand? Was it you or was it from Yedi? I knew it.
My brother always like paid attention to it. I'll be honest. If I'm completely honest, I'm too lazy. But my brother, initially that's why I never did it. But then my brother is always like, "Oh, this person like orders their hand and it's a tell, so now you can tell like when they pull like an 8 from the far right of their hand, they don't have any royalty." I'm like, okay, well that's pretty legit.
I'm gonna give you one hint, by the way, which is the true sandbaggers will do it for a couple of games and then and halfway through just stop when it really matters.
I thought about making it look like I'm arranging it, but really just moving cards around.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, thank you so much. I know it's getting late over in the Pacific time zone. I don't know what I'm trying to go with this one. You're in California, so I know it's getting late in California.
We're both in the same time zone.
I know, but no one knew where we were. Who knows where the Imposter King Stadium is? It's in an ephemeral bubble up in the sky. So
I would guess U.S. West 2 in Oregon. I guess. Sorry,
U.S. West 2 in Oregon. Thank you.
Heard it here first. The stadium's in Chile.
But thank you so much for participating in the tournament, for showing us again how much of a terror you are with that princess. As soon as you had that princess and card advantage, I was sweating, honestly. I wasn't even playing. So this is why in the lore, the princess in the actual lore itself has a pet goose now, is because of you. So
yes. Oh yes.
But anywho, all right. Thank you so much, Goose, and well played tonight. And I hope to see more of you later.
Thank you guys, and thank you so much to Kid for getting this whole thing together. This was an awesome tournament.
I agree. All right, have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Well, Dan, there you have it.
Two incredibly worthy finalists, an incredibly worthy champion, and a really wonderful night with a little bit of extra Imposter Kings thrown in. It was really strong. I mean, again, they're pushing. They're so strong. They're pushing the envelope of what good play is, and that's a real treat to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to actually put up the VOD and go back to some of those hands, because I think there's a lot of meat there. You're probably going to see actually some puzzles from the kid that have to do, that look suspiciously similar to maybe some of the situations we saw tonight. So, but
again, as a puzzle, I am curious if there was a sequence of play that could have wriggled out of that hand, the one again that seemed like a KO. To see if there was a sequence where an escape was possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing it up, hoping that someone who's watching right now is already on the case. Sam.
or to what extent a mistake would have need to have been made on Goose's part in order to allow a wriggle out there.
Yeah, but the number one thing I have to wonder can you do it with reasonable play? That's the question.
Yeah, obviously, I think if the player with the royalty plays incredibly foolhardily enough, they'll lose. But I'm curious. Yeah. If it's a mistake that a reasonable player could make that would allow for an escape.
Yeah, the only thing I think we missed in the stream was relating this, parallelizing it to the chess cheating scandal that's happening right now. Not one joke was made about that, which is unfortunate. But I don't want to also get into a lawsuit. So.
Well, I think someone's got to be working on an Imposter Kings engine. That's the step one. You get the Imposter Kings engine going, and then said engine needs to provide signals to that player in some illicit way.
Why did you put your hand there?
Is if you could swallow like an old school like Nokia phone. Those bricks like the 5150. That thing can survive in the harsh conditions of the human stomach, no problem.
Exactly.
So you make sure you get service, you just swallow it, and then you just you have the engine go through Twilio and then buzz your stomach for what you need to know.
Wow. Shout out to Twilio. Dan, thank you so much for joining me on this cast. That was a lot of fun.
Simbu, likewise, always a delight. I'm really glad to be back, another trip to Imposter King Stadium, and yeah, let's make this a regular thing, because I think there's a lot of great Imposter
I think
Kings
the weekly matches need to come back, that's for sure. And maybe we'll put a little money match on it, too. Especially if it's me versus you.
Well, I think DraftKings, I think, had a line on this game going. So for those of you out there who are big one-day fantasy players, it's like they don't even call it that anymore. But anyway, we'll make it interesting.
It's going to be painful when I look at the odds, like when it shows that I'm so bad versus everyone else. But all right, have a good night, Dan. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good night.